Hey guys, I'm Michelle from Virtual Hand Care, and in this video I'm going to show you 2 exercises to help with numbness and tingling of your pinky finger and half of your ring finger. So if you're experiencing numbness and tingling on the small finger side of your hand, it could be due to compression of your ulnar nerve at the location of your elbow, and that's also known as cubital tunnel syndrome. Now this is different from carpal tunnel syndrome, where you get numbness and tingling of your thumb, your index, your middle, and the other half of your ring finger. So if you're experiencing more numbness and tingling on that side of your hand, check out my carpal tunnel relief video here. But if you're struggling with numbness and tingling on the pinky side of your hand, then let's do these exercises together. Now, when it comes to exercising your nerves, you want to approach it a little differently than what you might do for muscle groups, which is normally strengthening or stretching. However, with a nerve, you want to think more of gliding or flossing that nerve as it travels through the arm down into your hand. Okay, ulnar nerve flossing exercise number 1 is more of a beginner type of exercise. This is a really good warm-up exercise to number 2. However, it is also a really good exercise for anybody that is experiencing a really irritable nerve. Basically, that means that your nerve gets very aggravated quickly. Maybe your symptoms come on fairly fast. Maybe you just pick your phone up and flex your elbow, and all of a sudden you start feeling those symptoms. That nerve is considered highly irritable. So this first flossing exercise is a great beginner exercise to calm things down. So first you want to go ahead and relax the arm at your side. You're going to go ahead and turn your hand up in a palms up position. And you want to go ahead and bend your elbow just a little bit. So you don't want to be in too much elbow flexion, because that's going to put your nerve on tension, and that could cause some numbness and tingling. So you want to make sure that your elbow is in a little bit of extension. We don't want it all the way straight though either. So go ahead and start with your elbow a little bit bent. Relax the shoulders, palm up, and just kind of relaxing the fingers. And this is your starting point. Now what we want to do is slack the nerve before we go to try to do a little flossing to it. So to slack the nerve, you're going to elevate the shoulder. So go ahead and bring that shoulder up towards your ear. And then what you want to do is bring your head over to that shoulder. So we have now slacked the nerve by lifting the shoulder, and then we slacked the nerve by bringing our neck over to that same side. And now what we want to do is start a little bit of flossing a little bit farther away from the elbow. So what you want to do is take your other hand, and you're going to take that ring finger and small finger, and you're going to apply a little stretch to the wrist and the ring finger and small finger. And you just want to hold that a second or two. And then you want to go ahead and relax everything. So take the tension off your hand, relax the shoulder, relax the head back to neutral position. Now you want to make sure that was symptom free. You don't want to get any kind of numbness and tingling with that exercise. So we're going to go ahead and do that again, and do that a little bit faster. So again, relaxing the arm, bring the shoulder up, bring the head over to the same side, making sure that the elbow is just a little flexed, palm up. Taking your other hand, and you're going to lightly stretch that ring finger and small finger down towards the ground. And then you're going to relax everything as you curl that finger up and the wrist up into a more neutral position. And so then you can do about 3 to 5 repetitions of these. Going in a nice, slow, rhythmical pattern. Making sure you're not getting any numbness and tingling, but you're allowing that nerve to floss in a nice, controlled way. Now you want to make sure with this exercise that you're not excessively extending your wrist as you're stretching your ring finger and small finger. That can be too much tension on that nerve. So if you're getting some numbness and tingling with that, you want to make sure you keep that wrist nice and neutral. Your exercise would just look more like this, where you're not moving the wrist and you're only doing some gliding just to the ring finger and small finger. And as that starts to feel better, then you can start incorporating a little bit more wrist movement with that. And so you would want to do about 3 to 5 repetitions of those a couple of times a day to help reduce your symptoms. And that exercise is also a great go-to exercise if you notice a sudden onset of numbness and tingling, or if you notice that nerve is in a highly irritable state. Now, you don't want to progress on to exercise number 2 until you can do this full movement without having any kind of symptoms. Okay, ulnar nerve flossing exercise number 2. Now this exercise is a little more advanced, but you want to take it in phases so you can customize it based on how your ulnar nerve feels. So again, I can't emphasize enough that you want to progress nice and slowly, and each phase of this next exercise should be comfortable and not cause any kind of symptoms. So the first step is to lower the shoulder down away from your ear. So in the last exercise, we elevated the shoulder in a shoulder shrug, right? So that slacked that nerve. But now what we're doing is we're gonna go ahead and glide that nerve a little bit by introducing some shoulder depression. And we're gonna just hold here for a second or two. If you have numbness and tingling on your pinky side already, don't depress your shoulder down as much. But then you also would not progress on to the exercise until you can fully depress the shoulder without getting any symptoms. And so the next step, while keeping the shoulder depressed, you're gonna go ahead and lift the arm, palm down, and you're gonna raise that shoulder out to the side. Now, for some people, they might feel some numbness and tingling with this. And so again, you would want to kind of lower down and not go as far with this exercise. But if this feels okay, you can raise your hand up as much as you can, again, keeping that shoulder nice and traction down. And if that feels okay, you want to progress to the third step. And that's where you're going to bend the elbow and bring your hand to your head, almost in a salute. Now, sometimes for some people, bending the elbow does bring on some symptoms. So if that's the case, you wouldn't progress on to here, and you would want to just go ahead and go through steps 1, 2, and 3, and you want to do that symptom-free. However, if you don't feel any numbness and tingling, then what you want to do is turn your hand in a more of a palms up position. So more of a waiter's tip position, almost like you're holding a tray in your hand. So your wrist is back in a little extension. Notice that you're not in as much elbow flexion, so we've slacked that nerve just a little bit. Now, again, if you're feeling numbness and tingling with this phase, you want to go back a step to this one, and you would want to go through the whole sequence until you are symptom-free. And so then the last phase would be to incorporate the neck. And so then you would bring the head and neck over into the opposite direction. You're now elongating that nerve along the whole nerve pathway. And if you can hold here for a couple of seconds and you're not noticing any increased symptoms, then you would be able to go through the full entire sequence. So let's go ahead and put that all together. So go ahead and depress the shoulder, then raise that arm up, then bend the elbow and bring the hand to your head in a salute. Then go ahead and straighten the elbow just a little bit, but bring that wrist back in some extension into that waiter's tip position. And then go ahead and bring that head over in the opposite position. And then you can come back down. So if you can go through that whole entire sequence and you're not having any symptoms, then you can go ahead and add some flossing techniques to that. So let's go ahead and try that. So go ahead and you can lower that shoulder down, go ahead and lift that arm up, bend that elbow, bringing the fingers to your head, then go ahead and go into that waiter's tip position. And then now what you can do is even do a little flossing with that nerve. So you can go ahead and start bending that wrist a little bit back and forth. And then you can also do a little flossing with the neck as well. So you can go ahead and bring that head over and just kind of see how that feels. And then you can start incorporating a little bit of head and wrist movement together, just to get that nerve to nice and lightly floss through all the little spaces throughout your arm. And then you would relax down. And you would go ahead and do about 3 to 5 repetitions of those a couple of times a day. Now, I hope you found these ulnar nerve gliding exercises helpful. I hope that you're finding some cubital tunnel relief with either exercise 1 or exercise 2. If you did find this video helpful, do please give it a like and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. And if you're looking for more numbness and tingling relief, then check out more of my videos here. Until next time, thanks for watching.